In a battle for power and legacy, a widow's sharp mind and a janitor's hidden genius turn the boardroom into their battlefield, proving that wisdom can come from the most unexpected places. Eleanor Kensington stood at the floor-to-ceiling windows of her late husband's corporate empire, her reflection a portrait of grief and determination. 6 months since Charles's sudden passing, the vultures had circled. Board members, investors, and even old friends clamored to dismantle his legacy. But Eleanor was no passive mourner. She'd spent weeks observing, her sharp eyes catching nuances others missed. One evening, as dusk painted the Manhattan skyline, she lingered in the empty office. The soft hum of a vacuum drew her attention. Samuel "Sam" Carter, the building's janitor for over a decade, moved with quiet efficiency. Earlier that week, she'd spotted him in the break room, his nose buried in a dog-eared copy of The Art of Strategy. Curiosity piqued, she discreetly inquired. A former engineer, laid off during the recession, Sam had chosen this job for its simplicity. Yet his mind remained razor-sharp. "Mr. Carter," Eleanor said, her voice cutting through the silence. He startled, then nodded respectfully. "I have a business meeting tomorrow. I'd like you to attend." Sam's brow furrowed, but before he could protest, she added, "I need someone unexpected, and I believe you're exactly that." Sam arrived the next morning in a borrowed suit, its ill fit contrasting with Eleanor's tailored elegance. "Stay close and speak when moved," she instructed, her tone leaving no room for debate. As they entered the boardroom, sneers greeted them. "Playing charity, Eleanor," sneered Malcolm Greer, the most vocal of her adversaries. The meeting began with thinly veiled jabs about her sentimental attachment to Charles's ventures. Eleanor remained poised, but Sam's fists clenched under the table. When Greer proposed selling off a flagship division, Sam cleared his throat. "That division's undervalued," he said, voice steady. "Its patents alone could pivot us into renewable tech, a sector booming by 20% annually." The room froze. Greer snorted. "And what would a janitor know about patents?" Sam met his gaze. "Enough to know you're ignoring the 2018 R&D filings. The ones you approved, Mr. Greer." A beat of silence. Eleanor hid a smile. The tide was turning. The boardroom confrontation represents the story's climactic moment, where the carefully laid groundwork of Eleanor's strategic thinking and Sam's hidden expertise comes to fruition. The scene opens with an explosive atmosphere as Sam begins to demonstrate his unexpected knowledge of the company's operations. The eruption of chaos in the boardroom serves as a perfect metaphor for the disruption of established power dynamics, as the supposedly lowly janitor reveals himself to be far more than what his uniform suggested. Sam's methodical dismantling of the board's arguments showcases not just his technical knowledge, but also his strategic intelligence. His ability to cite specific details from the 2018 R&D filings demonstrates how he had been quietly building a comprehensive understanding of the company's operations during his years of service. This revelation is particularly powerful because it shows how those in power, represented by Greer and his allies, had underestimated not just Sam's capabilities, but also his access to information. The simple act of cleaning offices had given him unprecedented access to crucial documents and conversations that others assumed would remain private. The physical description of Greer's reaction, with his face flushing crimson, vividly illustrates the humiliation and anger of a powerful man being outmaneuvered by someone he had dismissed as insignificant. This moment serves as a powerful commentary on class prejudice and the dangers of underestimating others based on their current position in life. Greer's emotional response contrasts sharply with Sam's composed and methodical presentation of facts, highlighting the difference between power based on position versus power based on knowledge and understanding. The revelation of Sam's deep understanding extends beyond just technical knowledge. His ability to identify hidden assets and outdated strategies demonstrates a comprehensive grasp of both the company's current operations and its potential future directions. More importantly, his hint at Greer's personal stake in the proposed sale suggests that he had not only gathered information, but had also pieced together the hidden motivations and conflicts of interest that were driving the board's decisions. This shows Sam as not just knowledgeable, but also as someone capable of understanding and navigating complex corporate politics. When Greer demands to know Sam's identity with the question, "Who are you?" it represents more than just a request for information. It's an acknowledgement that the comfortable assumptions of the corporate hierarchy have been shattered. Sam's response, "Someone who pays attention," is particularly powerful in its simplicity. It emphasizes that his advantage came not from privileged access or special training, but from the basic human quality of careful observation combined with the intelligence to understand what he observed. The revelation that Sam's knowledge came from late nights cleaning offices and overheard conversations adds another layer to the story. It shows how those in power often become careless, assuming that service workers are either not intelligent enough to understand what they see and hear, or not ambitious enough to use that information. This carelessness created the very vulnerability that Eleanor was able to exploit by bringing Sam into the boardroom. The impact of Sam's intervention goes beyond just stopping the immediate threat to the company. By unraveling the coup attempt, he not only protects Eleanor's interests, but also exposes the broader pattern of deception and self-interest that had been guiding some board members' decisions. This serves as a cleansing moment for the company, forcing a re-evaluation of not just specific business decisions, but also the corporate culture that had allowed such behavior to flourish. Eleanor's quiet observation of these events reveals her own strategic brilliance. By bringing Sam into the boardroom, she had created a situation where her opponents would naturally underestimate their opposition, leading them to expose their own weaknesses. Her gambit required not just recognizing Sam's capabilities, but also having the courage to trust him in such a high-stakes situation. The success of this strategy validates her judgment and leadership capabilities. The scene concludes with the board's retreat, marking not just a tactical victory, but a fundamental shift in power dynamics. The collapse of their coup attempt represents more than just a failed corporate takeover. It symbolizes the defeat of an approach to business based on privilege and exclusion. Sam's triumph suggests the possibility of a more meritocratic system where capability and insight matter more than position and connections. This boardroom showdown serves as the perfect culmination of the story's themes about wisdom, perception, and the dangers of underestimating others. It demonstrates how power can be undermined by its own arrogance and how intelligence and observation can overcome social barriers. The scene's resolution sets the stage for the story's final act, where these lessons will be transformed into lasting changes in both the company's structure and its culture. Through the intense confrontation and its aftermath, the story illustrates how true corporate reform often requires outsider perspectives and the courage to challenge established hierarchies. Sam's ability to speak truth to power, backed by careful observation and deep understanding, provides a model for how positive change can emerge from unexpected sources. News of the janitor strategist spread like wildfire. Investors intrigued by the story flocked, and the company's stock soared. Sam, now a consultant, split his time between boardrooms and boiler rooms, his grounded perspective a balm to corporate excess. Eleanor, once a figure of pity, became a legend. Yet her greatest triumph was quieter, a partnership forged in mutual respect. Over chess games in Charles's old office, they debated mergers and philosophy. "You took a gamble on me," Sam once remarked. Eleanor smiled. The best investments are often overlooked. In the end, the widow and the janitor taught Manhattan a lesson. Wisdom wears many uniforms, and sometimes the unlikeliest ally holds the key to victory. Subscribe to the channel and let me know in the comments where you're watching from.